Hi everyone.
Hello everybody.
We've survived. I think I've done 5 Bikram yogas now.
5?
I think so.
One more than me. I've done
so.
4. And I have remained relatively unscathed up until this very day. Because I was interfered with this morning.
What are you talking about?
I was manhandled by the practitioner and forced into a position that my body has never been in before. And now I feel like I have a bit of an injury in my upper back. And which is surprising to me, because I've made a point, I think we've both made a point, of going up to the practitioner prior to the onset of class and explaining that, well, certainly I have a catalogue of injuries that I need to be careful about, and they say generally, well, just go at your own pace. And on this particular day, this guy took it upon himself to manhandle me and put me in.
After you catalogued your injuries?
Yes, I had catalogued my injuries, and I also I got to a point in the class, which is I kind of shot myself in the foot, I realised, because I got to a point in the class where I feel like I've been doing pretty well, and then some of the things that were being asked of my body by said practitioner felt beyond the realms of feasibility. And so, and I had experienced some pain, some lower back pain, so I made some pretty exaggerated grimaces, and then just decided to really slack off and do, and not really do the exercises, shall we say, to the best of my ability. At least that's the lens through which he was probably viewing the whole situation. And then he took it upon himself to come and interfere. And there was a point where I had to do, I can't even remember the particular exercise, but I basically felt like an owl.
An owl?
You know when an owl can like swivel their head round like at a 180 degree angle? I felt that. Well, even now, reliving it, my back is starting to like spasm. But, and it's kind of your fault too, because I remember you telling me something you'd heard about an anaesthetist, I can never say that word, saying how the human body is really supple, and that when a patient is under anaesthetic, they're so supple that you can manipulate their body into a splits position.
Yeah, that's hearsay. I don't know if it's true, but I heard that.
Right. I would like to think that no one's ever actually done
right,
that.
I don't know.
It's only theory.
Yeah.
There's no actual proof. But that was going through my mind, so I just figured, well, I'll let him do it. Because normally I probably would have said, hang on a minute, this is a bit too much for me. But I kind of let him do it, and he did this whole owl routine on me.
Owl pose.
More like an owl pose. And so, and then I have this sore upper back.
But you said that your lower back stopped hurting.
That was what was so weird, because my lower back, I had this injury, I think it happened at Christmas, I don't even know how, but I had a lower back injury from Christmas, and that just completely went away. Either it transferred itself up to my upper middle back, or the agony in my upper middle back was so extreme that I didn't even notice the lower back injury. I think actually, no, it did go away.
Loosen up.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Well, you were willing to relax and step into the unknown.
Step into the unknown.
You've been talking about that this week.
That's a big one for me this week, stepping into the unknown.
Yeah,
I like stepping into the unknown. I feel like that's, I'm not really big on New Year's resolutions, and I don't even think it's a resolution, but I think it's more a case of like, I'm coming into, I nearly said 1919. Coming into 2019 with a growing sense of awareness around what it is to be in the unknown. And I like this idea of the intelligence behind life doing the heavy lifting. A term I have heard a great deal over the last couple of years, and I always thought of it as being a bit of a platitude, a bit of a cliche, but now actually it kind of makes more sense that I can actually the more that I allow myself to be comfortable in the unknown, I think the more I'm inclined to feel like life feels like, this is actually a little bit more exciting. I don't have to worry myself with old thoughts, old programming, and from that place projecting into the future, which is usually tends to be a little bit negative in its predictions. But being in that place, being in the unknown, and then having this added understanding that I can let the intelligence behind life do the heavy lifting, gives me a little bit more oomph to come into the new year.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll be kind of, because I think I'm more willing to jump into things than you are sometimes. Maybe we'll be going more at the same pace.
Well, I think, yes, you are very willing to jump into things, and I think I have had a pattern of being a little bit more cautious, dare I say overcautious. And now I feel like I'm a little bit more inclined to delve into things when it feels like, you know, there's a push coming from within, an inclination or an intuitive drive, let us say. And then just kind of throwing caution to the wind. Well, I don't know if it's throwing caution to the wind, but it's just being in that space, allowing the intelligence behind life to sort of do the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
And that I will kind of course correct, and that will be aided and abetted in the process.
Things will get worked out along the way.
Things will get worked out, and the destination point might change, but the direction ultimately, I'm sure, is probably mostly positive.
It definitely sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing what unfolds
We shall see.
for us.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend.